We are happy to announce that this episode of the SW Show is partially brought to you by Humble Bundle. Well, not really. We are part of the Humble Bundle referral program, and we just wanted to say that if you like really cheap games and maybe helping charity pending the Humble thing going on, all you have to do is go to humblebundle.com/partner equals SWW. That's right, humblebundle.com/partner equals SWW. And you just do your normal stuff, and it just kind of helps us get a couple bucks here and there. Maybe it helps AJ get his lights, maybe it's Mike camera, maybe we actually pay Corey for helping us out. But again, if you're going to go buy games anyway, it might be worth checking out.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Movie Club episode for Top Gun Maverick. I got Mike with me. It's AJ.
I'm sorry. We are supposed to be referring to each other only by our call signs.
Yeah, what's yours? Like short dick?
I'm sorry, Stubbs. I apologize.
Stubbs.
Yeah. You went short dick. I thought Stubbs was funnier.
Yeah, what? Stubbs and like, I don't know. All my other stuff is like Fox, because that's what my dad's family, his mom was the Fox family, so I just use Fox for all that stuff. So
I think Stubbs is pretty damn funny, but
yeah,
we're here. It is Top Gun Maverick finally.
Okay, so out. Yeah, on the topic of call signs, can we just go over their helmets before we get into it? Because I mean, it's really not like it's not a detail other than, you know, it plays no role in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that Fanboys was the exact same as Iceman's, just it said Fanboy instead of Iceman, was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was such a cool little kind of nod to obviously Iceman, but and to play off his Fanboy tag. The Hangman one was pretty good. Bob was hilarious.
Oh, it was pretty damn good.
Yeah. Rooster was weird because it was kind of like Sundowns from the first movie, that red and yellow, which I thought he would have for sure gone for something more like Goose's, but with the red and black. Also, the way they open this movie by just recreating the original intro.
So again, we're here to talk on Maverick. So we just watched before this was The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Yeah. Is that just a thing now of movies starting with a different movie's intro?
I mean, it's not. It's just a modern version of the original intro.
No, and I totally understand it, but I think it's very clever because, like, let's be honest, Top Gun Maverick is a film that going into us, no one thought we wanted, right? So it's very funny to me that they started with just redoing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, when I first heard that it was coming out, I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, okay. Tom Cruise will be, 80 when it's out? Like, okay now. Like,
yeah. Like, they're just, trying to bring back the nostalgia factor. The fact that they nailed the nostalgia factor, though.
So
the same font. Like, there was somebody behind me at the theater that I was at that's like,
are we in the wrong film?
Well, no. She goes, that's the same font. That's the same opening bit. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, they nailed it. Like, the intro was the exact same. Like, the production companies, it was just the modern logos. Like, I really wish they would have brought back the 80s Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer logo.
It would have been really funny if, like, they just did the so to me what would have been even funnier is if they full-blown, like, did the exact same thing, but instead, and, like, they used old cameras, but instead it's just the modern actors. Like, you would, like, extra confuse the fuck out of people. I think it would be the only way to top it.
Well, I mean, obviously you had Skydance in there, so they didn't exist when the first one came out.
Right, like I understand it's not perfect, but you know what I'm saying? Like this,
Yeah.
like I think I would have gone like that final step of just like if someone just walked in, they think they were watching the original Top Gun.
I mean, if you missed the production logos and got in right when that paragraph shows up, you would have thought you're at the original Top Gun because that's the same. It's word for word the same as the original, and it's the same font, same everything. Like, and it's the same music. You know, it opens the same. Like the coloring is the same. The shots effectively the same. Um, you know, like 9 times out of 10, when movies try to recreate shot for shot something from an original, it falls flat on its face. This nailed it. Also, if we're going to continue on down the road of referencing the first movie, the fact that they take a throwaway line in the first movie and his entire relationship is built on that.
Yeah.
Like, it took me a minute because he said Penny. I was like, wait. And then it, like, later on, they talk about an admiral. I'm like, oh shit, this is Penny Benjamin, the admiral's daughter.
But like, so I used to jump into it. I think that's one of those things to me that's like a weirder decision they made, but
No, I mean it's perfect. Like, who else were you gonna have? Like, he
sure, but
loses, um, he loses Kelly McGinnis in the first
right.
one. Like, she leaves and goes to DC or something like that. Like, obviously you're not gonna bring back Meg Ryan. You're not gonna have him.
Tell me you didn't all want to see that.
No, I totally hoped that she was gone.
Really?
Yeah, like, or at the very most, she would have popped up for like a brief cameo. But yeah, the fact that they go, oh yeah, like, you could clearly tell when they wrote this movie, they were like, okay, let's find the references and just exploit the references.
Hmm.
Because I mean, like, they obviously reference Penny and they reference San Diego a couple times, and also the whole Mach 10 thing. That was actually, like, if we're talking about kind of just like a really cool sequence, like, they could have had it or just left it. Obviously, it establishes his kind of assistant's the wrong word, but like his partner.
Right.
They kind of, that establishes his character, which I think was a cool way to do it. But yeah, just like this kind of, you know, oh, it's a black project and this is what he's been doing for the past 30 years, is like, you know, working on these black projects and stuff like that. Also, just that shot of him hurtling down the runway and then coming up over, and, you know, the roof of the guard post flying off, and Ed's just standing there and takes it like a champ. Like, obviously they staged all of that, but just like thinking about, like, okay, that was a really cool scene. They probably did it semi-practical by flying a plane that low and then just CG'd.
I thought the whole story was every single shot was practical. I thought that was the whole, like, Tom Cruise was like furious about, like, none of it could be like faked.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to. That actual craft, none of them exist.
Like, yeah, but I meant, like, of all the, like any of the shots, like, they're in cockpits, I thought were real cockpits,
yeah,
the whole story.
Yeah, when they're flying the F-18s, those are real.
Which is fucking wild.
It was $11,000 an hour. But yeah, like this prototype, which is based on, I think it's the X-37B. It's some NASA Boeing project. Um, like it was really cool because, like, okay, yeah, this is tech that they're working on right now with, like, the ram jets and pushing aircraft to Mach 10. Like that stuff's actually happening. But it's weird to see it in a movie, especially a movie like this, where it's like supposed to be a dogfighter. Like this is that would have been the perfect role for like an Iceman or something like that, right? To take over as a test pilot for these projects because you want somebody that's cool, calm, and collected. But it's kind of a Chuck Yeager moment, I guess.
So I want to jump on that for a second. So obviously Val Kilmer can't talk anymore, right? Is why he's not in this. How
Well,
much
he
did
can, but not
right? Like
much.
not, but like it's kind of like it's very much like it reminds me of some like he like there's a documentary about it. Like he very like it's very like, but he can't like mass talk, right?
Yeah.
How I am curious if the initial draft of this had him in there.
Probably not, because his throat cancer's been around for a while.
Oh, how long's this film been in production for?
Probably 5 years.
Do you think it's that recent?
Yeah. I guarantee you
Okay.
this movie hasn't been worked on for very long.
Okay.
Like, it's just been obviously delayed for the pandemic.
Hmm.
Also, the guy that directed this, do you know what his previous project was?
Fuck, I did, and know something's wild,
It was
wasn't it?
Tron Legacy.
Yeah, that's what it was. I remember being.
This dude's first Hollywood project was Tron fucking Legacy,
Huh?
which is the best soundtrack of a modern movie, second only to the Top Gun soundtrack.
Wait. So are you really gonna argue that Tron Legacy's soundtrack is that good?
Dude, it's a fucking Daft Punk album.
Sure.
Like it's effectively like a Daft Punk album that they used as an original soundtrack.
Hmm.
Like I mean, every song is by them. It's not like a pick and choose.
Right.
The original score was written by Daft Punk. It's one of the few movies where I can turn on the original score and it just sounds like an album. It doesn't sound like a movie album. But the original Top Gun has, in my mind, the greatest soundtrack ever. Like, it's just bangers.
Hmm.
Like, we may not think about it, but, you look at it and it's like, obviously the big one, Danger Zone, right? That song was
Of course.
written
Of course.
for
It's
the movie. Playing with the Boys, Take My Breath Away, like, Hot Summer. Dude, like, you want to talk about,
so here comes the question, right? Which soundtrack goes harder, the original Top Gun or Tarzan?
I mean, the fact that like the re-release of the soundtrack includes "Sitting on the Dock of the Bay," "Great Balls of Fire," "You've Lost That Love and Feeling," um, "The Final Countdown," "The Power of Love." Like, if we're going off of the final soundtrack, like probably the one that people would have listened to the most, right? Not the original release was a record and tape, probably 8-track, honestly. And I think Top Guns goes harder because really, I mean, Tarzan, it's like 2 or 3 songs
Sure, but it's kind of the joke.
that like go right.
They
Like,
go.
obviously, that soundtrack is bolstered by like 2 to 3 really good songs.
Mhm.
But I mean, you had 2 original songs by Kenny Loggins. You had Cheap Trick perform an original song. You had Berlin with arguably their most famous song ever.
Mhm.
Right? You had Loverboy on this. You had probably the best theme, right, to come out of the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, if we include the licensed music that was in that song or in that movie, Otis Redding, Jerry Lee Lewis, Righteous Brothers, you know, it's tough to say that this isn't the best soundtrack.
It's
If we go off
yeah.
of like thinking about soundtracks, obviously like what is it, The Bodyguard and Purple Rain
Mm-hmm.
are the best soundtracks, but that's because those are movies based off of albums for those artists.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little weird because like the album existed and then they made the movie. Whereas like this is stuff that was made for the movie. The movie existed, then they made the music. It's the same thing with Tron Legacy, right? Like they made the movie. Probably in the back of their head, they always had Daft Punk as being the soundtrack. Because it's kind of tough to like they're the one group that really captures kind of that aesthetic. Right? There are very few um, people that could have captured how do you capture like effectively the 80s and 2008,
Mm-hmm.
right? There was one group making that music at that time, and it was Daft Punk. And Kenny Loggins nailed every song that he did on this. Berlin, their number one, just is crazy. Um, and this and Top Gun Maverick, I mean, follows it up. It's obviously not as good, right? Danger Zone's back in it. Uh, Great Balls of Fire, that was an okay version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Lady Gaga song was okay, but it's not. It wasn't Take My Breath Away, right? Like that was kind of what it was supposed to be. If you think about when Top Gun released, it was Danger Zone and then Take My Breath Away in terms of singles that they released.
Mm-hmm.
And Hold My Hand was really the only single that was released. One Republic did a song, I Ain't Worried.
Oh
I
God.
I'd have to hear it to remember what it is because I don't remember them releasing that. Um, and obviously this is a little different because you bring in Hans Zimmer to do the soundtrack, and he is much more of a score person,
Mm-hmm.
whereas Faltermeyer was like synths and kind of like a soundtrack. He was gonna write songs, whereas Zimmer likes to write a score. Totally fine. It's just two different ways of doing it. Um, yeah, I mean, this album is already in the top 10 in Japan for the charts. Like, released on, or it's releasing on vinyl later this year. That might be an interesting one.
Yeah, that'd be a yeah.
Because, like, if they include the previous Top Gun soundtrack, I am absolutely getting that vinyl.
Of course.
Like, it could be $100 and I'd still get it. This is one of those. This is a movie where the music really helps
Mm-hmm.
portray what it is. That being said, I guess let's get into it, right? So, Penny Benjamin plays a big role in this movie. Rooster, which I forget that they in the original movie they call him Rooster, so he's already got his call sign.
Yeah, they do.
Like, I totally forgot that, and I've watched Top Gun since I've watched Maverick. And yeah, just the fact that Rooster had his call sign from when he was probably what, 2, 3? Like he couldn't have been very old. And I think it's interesting that the way that they approach it is like, oh, the people that they're recruiting are already graduates of Top Gun.
Yeah, let's kind of dig in that. That's an interesting and like going into that, it to me feels like one of those you'd be like, well, then it doesn't make sense for them to come back. Like that's kind of the initial guttural. Like if you're like,
Yeah.
well, they already graduated. Why are they coming back? Like,
Also, I just want to say, because this whole movie is based on like, oh, the U.S. has inferior technology,
mm-hmm.
or they're flying inferior planes. They fucking show an F-35 in the opening. So they show that the Navy has a 5th-generation fighter. And they're all about, oh, well, you're flying an F-18, which they never say what gen it is. It's a Gen 4. Some people might call it a Gen 3. But, you know, they're using a inferior aircraft, even though the Navy has F-35s. I can almost guarantee you this was solely because the F-35, I believe, is a single-seater,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the F-18 is a dual. And I'm sure it was a lot cheaper to fly the F-18s for filming. So, you know, that's probably why they used it. But the fact that they showed an F-35 and then this whole movie is about, oh, well, you have inferior equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, but they don't.
Also, that's the next thing I want to touch on too. Can we appreciate that the villain in this one just so that way, that it's not that it offends no one is just the enemy.
It's a rogue state.
It's a rogue state.
Which,
Like,
so I mean, the original movie tackles this too, right? Like, they're not going
Sure,
to call it the Soviet Union.
but the
But
original
it's-
film could have. Like, if they wanted to, they could have.
Well, see, the problem is because these films are funded by the military,
Mm.
that could be a political issue. So, like the first one, they just call them the enemy, but I mean they're flying a black plane with a red star on it.
Yeah, it was kind of like an enemy in quotes, and we're like,
It's
yeah,
like-
yeah.
And they call them MiGs.
Right.
Right? I think they specifically say like it's a MiG 20 something. MiG 27, which is weird because that's not a real designation. So they were smart about that because MiGs were only even numbers. So they used something that obviously never existed. So they were smart there. Kind of cover their ass. But they just call this thing a 5th-generation fighter. I'm like, okay, fine. But then they show an Su-57 during the mission. And I'm like, why didn't you just call it like a S-58? Right? Like, you could have called it, you could have given it a name the way that you have the F-18.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like a mouthful. And I'm wondering if that's because they weren't sure what they could get while they were writing it. But you could have done reshoots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it bothers me that, you know, it's just not. They try to do it like by the book for everything, and then this movie just kind of has stumbling blocks. That's like, oh, if they just did that, it would make it so much better. Right? If they did this thing or that thing, it would have taken this through the roof. And that's one of them for me. Also, I love the way that they just like they took Iceman, made Hangman off of him, but then gave him the Maverick personality. They're like, we're just gonna take like goes back to the the Tarantino bit from what is it? Someone Like You or Someone You Love or something, whatever the movie that bit is in about
Okay.
Top Gun being like about
Oh, right.
Maverick and Iceman becoming a homosexual couple. Like, is Hangman supposed to be their kid? Because like it's their personalities put together, and it's such a weird. I don't know. Because like you kind of want the two button heads, and like Rooster is such a like he's not letting it affect him. Like he's just like you're a dick, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that like Phoenix is supposed to be kind of the Maverick in that situation,
You're right.
but she's a little too defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the original, it's Goose backing up Maverick, so like it should be Rooster's Rio, which I think he flies solo, so he doesn't have a Rio. And Phoenix has a Rio, who's Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like Bob should be backing up Phoenix. Instead, Phoenix is trying to back up Rooster because Rooster flies solo, and it's one of those situations where like okay, it's a weird, it's like they're trying to make it work,
Mm-hmm.
but because they chose a jet that flies in these kind of 3-person squads in the sense that one plane usually flies solo, the other flies tandem. They kind of had to fudge the numbers a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's other than that, like, I think if you didn't know how they fly the planes, like actually fly the planes in terms of the squads, that doesn't matter at all, right? Like it doesn't really matter at all. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then the just like the fact that they're like, okay, they have this crazy death-defying mission, and the whole thing throughout it is like, somebody's gonna die, right? Like, and you need to accept that. Is kind of the John Hamm
Right.
character is like, oh, somebody's not coming back from this mission, and it's very clear that it feels like they want Maverick to fly in it, and he's going to be the one that they kill off.
Which is like, to be fair, like, as spoilers, them not was a decision. Like if they did, I think
Yeah,
it'd
I would have been
pretty
totally fine with
justified.
them killing Maverick. Like,
Right.
him
That
just
to me.
getting roasted by a Soyuz 57. Like, they could have easily done that.
And it makes sense.
Yeah, and then like the problem is then you have okay, if they kill off Maverick, you kind of lose the ending of the movie.
Oh, like no, you'd have to change stuff, but
Yeah.
I think it'd be one of those that would make sense.
Oh, absolutely. But I do like the way that they wrote out Ice by him just dying. Like, and the fact that they wrote his character as Val Kilmer this time instead of Iceman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they took Iceman and had him basically be Val Kilmer, right? Like,
Right.
they were tearing down the fort. They just completely leaned into the whole, look, Val Kilmer's got throat cancer, he's gonna die pretty soon. And they just took that. And it was very interesting. And I felt like that sequence of Maverick and Ice being there in that room together is obviously very emotional. Or, it tries to be very emotional in that scene. And I think it nails it. I had some feels when he died. But it also is it's one of those scenes where it's like, okay, if you're gonna do that, right? If you're gonna bring him in for this cameo, why? Right? Like, I understand you need to acknowledge him, and one way or the other. Like, either he's a character in the movie and you reference him that way, or much the way that they reference Meg Ryan's character, you know, they die in the interim, in between the movies,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like, okay, they could have done that, but they didn't, and they nailed the emotional moment there with him talking. Um, that was pretty powerful, but yeah, I don't know. Like that's the part of the movie that when this comes out on streaming, that's the part that I'm gonna go back and watch. Where like I have sections of Top Gun that I'll go back and just watch like 40 minutes of it. I'll watch the intro, or I'll watch the ending, or the actual
Infinite.
training section. Like
Or the 40 minutes worth of sweaty volleyball.
yeah, which we'll get to that in a second. But I'll watch these kind of acts because they stand alone, right? Like obviously they blend together to make the whole movie, but they kind of have a 3-act structure
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in the 3 acts, which is really cool. Um, but yeah, referencing the sweaty volleyball, like I do like that they somehow worked in a reference to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of it being whatever they called it, football, airman football, or
Well, I thought that was actually a
dogfight
good
football. That's what it
choice.
was called.
I see. I personally, I thought that was a decently clever choice to do it. So it's not exactly the same.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just felt like if they would have done like, traditional football instead of there's two and you have to offense and defense.
And you might be okay with it.
Like I was like, okay, I'm kind of lost on what exactly they're trying to do, and I didn't understand it until they explain it.
Mm.
And I was like, now that I know what it is, okay, that's a really cool scene. But if you're going into this until they explain it,
Mm-hmm.
what exactly they're doing, it's like, oh, they're playing football with two footballs, and it's like, okay, is it football? Are they just throwing like, what exactly is going on? You kind of get lost there, but also I wonder if it was a problem of you now have, I think it's two female characters. You have Phoenix, and then there's a Rio that's a female as well. Like, do you run into that situation?
Right.
Which
I
they
get
kind of
saying.
tackled with the football scene in terms of, okay, they're just going to wear like sports bras and running shorts. Fine, that's effectively what they wore in the volleyball scene, right? They wore running shorts. But the guys were shredded. Um, it's also, I feel like it was, thinking back on it now, I guess it's with him being the teacher, not the student.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it makes a little more sense. Um, I like them including. Let me get the character name right because it is Hammer. Oh no, Hammer is the rear admiral.
Mm-hmm.
It's not say what his. It's gonna bug. Um, Bob. Bob. Seen it. So it's cool that they did it. Um, okay, this movie began development in 2010.
Really?
Paramount made offers to Bruckheimer and Tony Scott to make a sequel. He didn't want to do a remake. He wanted to do a convention.
Of course.
He was going to focus on drones, and they were going to fly an F-18. So That's probably where it started. Then obviously Tom Scott committed suicide in 2020. So that kind of put the kibosh on it. In 2017, Cruise revealed that the sequel will be titled Top Gun Maverick. So, I guess into like true development began in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess there you go. Like, uh, it's old, but not as old as you probably think.
Right, like it's yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah. Let's see. Justin Marks wrote this. Um, he researched the JSF and the F-35. Like, also hearing how like this was supposed to be about drones
Mm-hmm.
and kind of the shift of going away from dogfighting to much like they say, right? Like um, during the Dark Star mission, Hammer's like, pilots aren't going to exist in 5 years or whatever time frame he gives.
Right.
Like I feel like that's a really interesting way to reference what the movie was originally supposed to be about. While
Yeah, but
still,
I want to so like that is true, but I appreciate then within what 20 seconds Tom Cruise becomes still better than the
yeah,
future.
yeah,
Like we appreciate that. Like yeah, totally. And then like literally immediately they're like, but he's better.
yeah. It's good. Also, the kid, you know, when Maverick walks into that diner and he asks where he is, the kid just says Earth. My whole theater erupted in laughter. Like, yeah, that was a pretty funny moment there.
I like that, or I like the part where they're like, I didn't think you'd invite me back. He's like, it's orders.
Yeah,
Like that's one of those like great lines.
yeah.
I think you'd be right back. You're not invited. This is not a.
And speaking of like the orders thing, they go on to obviously up the mission and they say like, okay, here's what's going on. You could totally see the writing was on the wall when they mentioned that the uranium facility was protected by fifth generation fighters and some older ones, and they clearly show an F-14. Like, okay, they're gonna fly that. Like, that's going to happen, right? Like, I don't know how it's gonna happen yet,
Mm-hmm.
but Maverick is going to fly that F-14, and I hate that I had that moment spoiled for me by just paying attention. But it was like, why else do you show it? Right? Like,
It's the gun.
yeah, it's
It's
Chekhov's
smoking
gun.
gun.
Like, it's clearly you have to come back to it, and they come back to it in a way that I just wish they didn't.
Don't like that scene then.
Well, I understand that he had to be on the ground, right? Like he had to have been shot down, or he had to eject or something, right, to go fly it. But the whole like, oh, this is when he's gonna die
Mm-hmm.
situation, like, yeah, I think they could have done it a little bit better. Like, they could have easily had the hind that comes to kill him, and then Rooster shoots that down. Like, I feel like they could have gotten rid of a lot of that. Right? Like, they didn't need the strafing run towards him. They could have had it see him, he jump behind the log, and as it's coming towards him, Rooster takes it out. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, obviously he's on his last stand, right? Are they going to kill him here? And then Rooster saves him.
I think so. Like to me, I want to talk about that. So obviously, the whole point was like that's the tension, right? Is this whole like push and pull of like he's angry at him because like his father and not just father, but like life. Um, to me, it would have been very interesting, and I understand again. We said they didn't kill him, so it's that way. If Rooster had to watch him die, I think would have been fascinating.
Oh yeah, like if the roles were reversed, right?
Right.
If
And
Rooster's the first one that goes down, and Maverick saves him, and then Maverick gets just smoked by the Sam instead of it hits him in the tail.
right.
That emotional aspect of now Rooster has to figure out how to fly an F-14. All of that, there's just so much more emotional weight.
And that's why I'm surprised to do it. Because also Miles Teller feels like a good person to like continue being the lead person.
Yeah, I mean, Miles Teller is a piece of shit, but
But like as an actor, I think he's a
yeah,
good like
the Rooster characters, if you want to make more of these, first off, you have to kill Maverick off.
mhm.
You have to do it. Right? Like maybe that's the end of the first act. Right? That's the
That's what
snap.
almost what I expect. I didn't like I just yeah, I was gonna be like an immediate like a gut punch.
Like, Rooster and Maverick are flying a mission and all of a sudden Maverick just gets smoked.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's the switch. That's the start of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean also like getting back to the Hines sequence, like they didn't need that whole sequence. I don't think they understand how missiles work.
Why? Which part do you not think is missile friendly?
The final Su-57 launches its missile before Hangman shoots it. They
Mm-hmm.
would have died.
Mm-hmm.
They should have died. Right? Like I think people forget that modern missiles, they don't need the plane.
Right.
Like the only reason that the plane exists is for them to get a radar lock, to train the computer on something, and then to release it. Like if that missile had radar lock, that's when you launch it. So pilot has tone, the missile's locked, it is hitting its target.
Mm-hmm.
Unless countermeasures are enacted. So taking out the jet doesn't take out the missile. Unless you're trying to tell me that the debris of the plane cuts down the missile.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the one thing where there's kind of plausible deniability of okay, sure the missile launches, but the explosion of the plane blows up the missile, potentially. I can see that, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I do like though that they end this movie with Tom Cruise flying his own plane.
Yeah, that's a
Like
nice
that's
little.
his actual P-51 that Tom Cruise owns.
Mm-hmm. Wait, really?
Yeah, that's his personal plane.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So for them to have it in there, it's just such a cool little kind of tidbit. Um, and the whole relationship between Penny and her daughter. Also, like referencing that relationship, him falling out of the window, standing up, and she's at the kitchen window,
Mm-hmm.
and just like straight face acknowledging it, like just don't break her heart again. Like it was just such a cool. Like it's weird to call that moment cool because I'm sure a lot of people were expecting her to just freak the fuck out. Like a guy just fell from the sky. But she just takes it in stride and just like, don't do it. Like, don't break her heart again. She's like, I don't care what else you do. Just don't leave her. I was like, okay. You know, I see what you mean. right? Like also the whole bit before it of I can't have my daughter seeing you know what's the line like I can't have her seeing that I bring guys home on the first date or something like that. That line's pretty, but
It's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn
it's
good.
very funny. Um, but you had okay. I'm gonna go through the cast,
Okay, okay.
and I'm gonna call the pilots by their call sign. You just tell me if you remember them. Obviously, Maverick,
So
Rooster,
right, these are hard ones.
Penny, which that's not a
Right.
call sign, but
Right,
Cyclone.
but
You remember who
no.
Cyclone is?
No.
That's John Hamm.
Okay. I did not remember his call sign.
Hangman, obviously we've talked about him. Bob, talked
Right.
about him. Hammer.
No.
Hammer is Ed Harris.
Okay.
Iceman, obviously. Phoenix,
Obviously.
we've talked about.
Right.
Warlock.
Yes. That sounds like I don't remember who it is, but I remember it.
It's Charles Parnell, it's the black guy.
Okay.
Also,
That's
he's from
why.
the original movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a returning character. Payback.
No.
You should have remembered him because he's the one that's in like the olive drab green
Oh.
helmet,
Right,
and it
right,
just says
right.
like Payback. Fanboy is Paybacks. They're called WSOs, but Rios.
Okay.
Coyote.
Yes.
Pretty sure you don't, because they were a mission candidate. Fritz.
Fritz is they're definitely Fritz is there.
Omaha.
No. Not at all.
He was a pilot and a candidate. A bunch of these are,
Candidates.
yeah. Hondo. So Hondo, this is kind of cheating. Hondo is Maverick's assistant.
Right.
So that's kind of cheating. Harvard.
No.
Yale.
I don't remember maybe? Yale's beginning of the
Halo.
film, wasn't he?
Halo.
No.
Okay,
I don't remember
so
Halo.
here's why you don't remember them. Because they literally mention them once. They're like, oh, here walks in Harvard, Yale, and Halo.
I probably caught the Yale part because I heard the Harvard and my head went Yale. It was kind of one of
that's
those.
it.
Yeah.
That's the only time they're mentioned. Like, there's so many characters that you're like, oh, what? That was a character? And you're like, okay, yep. And I don't know, like them bringing back like the footage from the original movie, I would have thought for sure it would have looked cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Like it totally felt like they just ripped a DVD copy of the movie to put it in. Like, do they not have the original film? Because I feel like original film would have scanned a lot better than what it looked. You know, it's one of those things where it felt forced when they had those throwback scenes.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that they did it, but yeah, I don't know if they needed it because it just I don't know.
But yeah,
I don't know.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else massive.
The Dark Star is based on the SR-72,
Okay.
so which makes sense because there is a skunk. So yeah.
Is the SR-72? That's not the Blackbird. It's the one after that. The Blackbird.
It's the follow up to the.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought it was. Though I thought it was like that. Like, yeah. The not Blackbird in quotes.
They did build a full scale mock up, but it doesn't say if they. Oh, you're solid over here. It doesn't say if they actually flew it.
I was gonna say that's one of the ones I thought it was kind of like assumed we've had one, but we don't know.
Yeah, the SR-72 exists.
Right. But we don't know like it's not like well how we know the blackbird, right? Like it's one
Yeah.
of those. Like it's
I don't know if it's flying yet.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I truly don't know where we're at with that thing.
Um, so, all right, I
Yeah,
think that's gonna wrap it up
but we
for
have to
Maverick.
end.
Unless you got,
I was gonna say we have to end the correct way. I will make sure we both go on this one. We're telling people to go see this fucking movie in
oh,
theaters, right?
absolutely.
Okay. I wanted to make sure we agreed on this. This wasn't like a.
Yeah, no, yeah,
This is a like go see it. Um, it's not as corny as original Top Gun, but it totally you can tell has remnants of that era.
oh, dude, it nails it.
Right. It is a fun time. It is a good time. Go see it. Have your thing of popcorn. Eat it. And remember, Tom Cruise is like 55 when he films this film.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and just
He's pushing 60 in this movie.
like, and I want you to remind people that he looks better than most of us ever will. Am
Yep.
I wrong?
The power of
Scientology?
Hollywood medicine.
Oh, I thought it was the power of Scientology. I guess Hollywood medicine. You're right. But yeah, that was good. Go check it out, everyone. Well done. Enjoy the Maverick. Stubbs, take us away.
Yep. No, you're Stubbs. I gotta go see why Ocelot's trying to call me.
The SW Show and all of its affiliate podcasts are podcast by me, Mike Maroney, and AJ Losi, sometimes by our contributors, including Corey King. You can follow the SWW Show on social media at the SWW Show, or sooner or later you go to patreon.com/SWW to help us out. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day.